Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Today we're talking about how I think the structure of the Destiny 2 content drops needs to change entirely. Now, I've seen a lot of this, especially on Twitter, and I've been trying to stay away from Twitter recently because it's really not the greatest place to look for criticisms of the game, but it is a good place for discussion. And I've seen a lot of people calling for a Destiny 2 Season of Health, something that mirrors what Rainbow Six Siege did with their game at some point, where instead of focusing on adding new operators and maps, it was more about the stability of the game. And that's certainly something that would be good for Destiny. But I think instead of that, we should just stop having seasons altogether. Now you might sit there and think, well, you're crazy, because Bungie's never going to do that. There's too much money to be had in a more seasonal model. And to that I say, sure, that might be correct. But there's also better content, I think, to be had if you could divert the live team's focus from updating seasonal content and putting out seasonal content to begin with, and instead focus it more towards the new expansion for each season. I've had this opinion for the longest time because I truly think that the seasonal model can be part of the reason why we get DLCs like Lightfall that feel not fully fleshed out. And you can agree with me there, you can disagree with me there, everyone has their own opinion. But again, you know, I really think it's difficult to say whether or not the seasonal model is the best way, because even if Bungie, say Bungie gets rid of the seasonal model, they could then charge a lot more money for the larger expansions, thus making up for it, right? And in the time in between each expansion, you can focus on updating Crucible, Gambit, maybe you put out a new strike here or there, or maybe you just have one season in between the two expansions. This will promote players going and playing different games, which is something you should do even with the current seasonal model, because it allows you to come back to the game and experience it differently, because you've taken a break and now you're coming back. I, for one, have been enjoying playing Jedi Survivor. It's a great game if you're a fan of Star Wars, or even if you're not and you just like RPGs with like a Tomb Raider feel. They took a lot of notes from God of War Ragnarok, and it feels very nice. So that's a suggestion, and I might do a review for Survivor at some point. But again, I think the model I'm suggesting would allow players to have a more considerable amount of time to go into other games. And there are a lot of games out there aside from Destiny, people, and it will enrich people. But that's not what Bungie wants to do. And I understand that. This is just what I think is best for the game. It'll allow the live team to focus more on helping with expansions, and it will give Bungie a lot more manpower to put into those expansions. That way, they feel a little bit larger and the content is more fleshed out. Again, this is an opinion. I don't know if this is true or not, if my suggestion would help. This is just me trying to think about some way to get rid of the seasonal model, because I'm just not a fan of it anymore. Season 22, I have a lot of high hopes for it. We're getting one new Crucible map, which is the Citadel, returning from Forsaken. We're going to be getting the Rotator exotic mission playlist that will include Vox Obscura, Operation Seraph's Shield, and Presage as well. And I think that's all we know for now. Bungie, as of recently, has been very tight-lipped about what seasonal content is going to maintain. So, you know, we can't really be sure what's going to happen in this season, other than the fact that we know it's probably going to include something on Titan and, of course, an enemy of the Witness. I did want to remind everyone that Season of the Deep will not feature a vendor upgrade paradigm, and that'll be true for following seasons as well. And also that there will be some kind of tonal, I don't know how to really describe this. I guess there'll be a theme to Season of the Deep, whatever it is. Maybe scuba divers or something, I don't know. But there's going to be some kind of thing happening. Again, they've been somewhat vague with how it's going to change, and I imagine in the coming weeks, with a very limited of time left in Season of Defiance, we will know soon enough how Season of the Deep will truly be different. Anyways, let me know what you guys think is best for Bungie moving forward. Do we think this new seasonal model will be successful? Honestly, I think, even though I suggested a different model altogether, I do think that there's a possibility for the seasonal model to work as long as it's changed and updated each and every season. And there's always been in this community an idea that you can have seasons like Season of the Drifter that focuses on Gambit, and then you can have another one that focuses on Crucible and updating that, and then the Vanguard. That way, you know, you have multiple seasons throughout the year, so it allows you to update each playlist every single year. And that's certainly something Bungie could work on, but they've really focused on telling story throughout these seasons as opposed to updating core playlist content. And the story, I mean, again, another opinion here, but I truly do think that some of the story in this seasonal stuff is better than what we got in Nightfall. So again, I do have hope that this model can work. I just like suggesting ideas because it's fun. So let me know if you guys agree with me or if you have a different idea. Like this video if you enjoyed the content, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.